Hello everyone now, and welcome to the 24th episode of The Weave. 24th?
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Lucas, and today I'll be your Dungeon Master. We haven't played for over a month. Well, actually,
A month.
last session was the 1st of December,
Oh god.
so it's over, technically. Anyway, we're back from our holidays, and
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
This decade, I hear it has been great so far. For about a day and a half, it was great.
Double natural 20 decade.
Double natural 20. It's a hindsight decade. I'll
I don't know.
I'll try to explain that bad joke.
Oh, 2020, yeah, okay.
In hindsight, it's going to be a great decade. Anyway, stop. Recap. So let's play. So after the meeting with Captain Zord, the party made their way back to the manor, with Keth retiring to his room to reflect on recent events. And there they decided, they plan what to do next, considering the intelligence they have on the Collard Towers, amongst other things. They decided to visit the Yawning Portal, leaving the workers at the manor with instructions to notify Ancoin, to notify whether there's something like iffy or strange visitors or whatever. The kids had already been sent the day before, to stay with Maya, and Elgan was staying with his halfling girlfriend Olga, but coming to work back at the manor every day.
Halfling?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a halfling girlfriend.
Bastard.
Not a full one.
Once you get to the Yawning Portal, Arion and Dernan had a quick catch-up, as they apparently know each other quite well from ages past, as you all arrange rooms to stay for the night. Arion and Silas see a halfling that they recognize as Dart Knowles, that is sitting with someone on the far side of the tap room in one of the cubicles. Silas buys a drink for him, delivered by Boney, and they share a bit of a remote toast. One of those not had, tipped and non-had.
Bonnie, right?
Eh?
It's Bonnie, right?
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Well,
The
yeah.
double N, you keep saying Boney. And like,
Nah, it's
imagine
Bonnie,
like a
Bonnie.
skeleton woman.
Yeah, Bonnie.
Wilfred Boney.
After a bit, another member of the Gentleman Ace walk in. And some of you, based on the description, you recognize as Penny Starfate. Naya remembers then that he can read lips and manages to figure out some of the conversation.
Yes, I can.
And that knows, and the stranger were talking about current arrangements and the security detail in the country villa. He also apparently recognized Silas and or Arion as part of the other group that was at the Graalhound villa. And then, as you were intently watching, they kind of like started covering their mouth. They had a bit of a conversation there, and then they left. Penny Starfate and that note. Niall then goes to have a bath and receives a call from the Blackstaff via his badge/amulet. She urges him to stay undercover and keep working on all the leads he has, and to keep working in the for the good of Waterdeep as much without kind of like generating knowledge of him and his activities as much as possible, as subtly and undercover as possible.
My specialty.
Yep. And she tells him to play Captain Zord and string him along. She confirms they know about him as a power broker and what his intentions are. So she kind of confirms, do what you're doing fine. There are a lot of other shit going on, keep going. He also then writes, Niall also writes, I know, in a piece of paper and slips that under Mayboon's door. Later during that night, after almost everyone has left and everyone is sleeping, Arion is doing his rounds and he notices Javier Quickknife, one of the monks, halfling monks under Feloon's tutelage, walks in, sits down, and after a while she's joined by a newcomer, a male human in robes. Black hair, brown skin, unkempt beard, that was the description. And Arion notices they're having a tense conversation, and the rogue human has some kind of tattoo. Javier notices him, and the rogue stranger then leaves the tavern. Arion approaches Javier and asks her to remember his face, and that he's working for the good of the city. Then Javier also leaves the tavern. And then when Genhorn is on watch, Keth comes back to the portal in the middle of the night and gives Genhorn a series of blueprints of the colored towers, sourced apparently by Captain Zord. The party then leaves the yawning portal in the wee hours of the morning, making their way to the Trace Ward. This is already on the 19th of Hammer. Towards the house that Mille had originally identified as a Zentrim outpost in one of the mind-reading things that they did to one of the apprentices that you captured near the Collet Towers. Niall then has to deal with a patrol, forced to temporarily leave on a merry-go-round before making his way back to the house. And Silas and Arion, in a bit of a pattern now, infiltrate through the roof through a wide chimney that Silas figures out it was used as a smokehouse, while Genhorn and Niall play a I'm drunk act and enter the front door. The situation quickly, of course, devolves into violence as and deteriorates and the fight breaks. While Genhorn and Niall deal with the thugs and flying snakes downstairs, Avarine and her bodyguard attempt to flee by means of a fly spell after turning Arion into a toad, but not before Arion had managed to kick her staff away from her. The party suffers heavy damage, including a fireball, but eventually, after Genhorn manages to slow her down by dispelling her fly spell, Arion manages a combo punch that knocks her down, breaking concentration and bringing her bodyguard down to the ground too, killing him. The watch makes their way back to the scene, but Genhorn convinces them that this was all an Emerald Enclave business, an operation, against these people that were breeding deadly flying snakes. And the bodies are all neatly arranged inside, and the watch is happy to say that they took part in helping the Emerald Enclave to bring down these snake breeders. Everyone leaves the scene with some spoils and the body of Avarine, using the tower shield as a stretcher, taking it back to the City of the Dead, which are now kind of like on retainer. Under questioning, Avarine's corpse says she doesn't know where Sidra is, Manafort is in the towers, only those close to the Master have teleporter rings to the inner sanctum. They wanted Fenrir's Stormcastle for information on the Drow. She suggests one of the moles has turned. Genhorn visits Fala and gets the potions identified, which is the potion speed and mind reading. And finally, Niall makes his way to the Blackstaff, apparently to have a conversation about something with her. And finally, Silas and Arion visit the Watchful Order Tower, bringing Avarine's staff with them, leading to a bit of an awkward situation in which Silas attempts to flee with the staff and is promptly stopped and must now see the gargoyle. And that's where we left off.
Yeah. I think that was the silliest thing that happened.
Do you remember why you're going to the Black Stuff?
Roughly.
Okay.
One thing.
So, let's start, because Genhorn had a bit of a very quiet ending to the thing. Went to get the potions identified, and also it was a longer walk there, and then you would just go back to the manor. So we're gonna leave that there for the. Huh?
I won't go back to the manor, go back to the Yawning Port, but also I was going to go and visit Vincent Trench, waiting for these guys, which I'm assuming.
Okay, so we'll get there. Let's say that. Let's start with Niall first. As you go all the way to Blackstaff Tower, you find yourself, near in the very recognizable now black, beautiful tower, almost featureless. These two kind of Praetorian guards standing outside, doors closed, the short flight of stairs leading to it into a resting area where the two guards are in front of these massive front doors. To your right, the big royal stables, well, not royal, like city government stables, where you keep your horse. You approach, the guards are there, look at you.
Give them a nod.
The black stuff is not in now.
Well, where is she?
We don't know, and we are not at liberty to say if we would.
When she due back?
We don't know.
Uh,
The door suddenly opened. They look a bit surprised, and a person kind of like rushes out and starts in between the two doors opening inwards. Looks at you. Sorry, I noticed you there. Yes, let him in. Come in.
okay.
It is, you notice here, a person that you haven't seen before, except maybe, you remember that one time when Vashra was always doing different things every time you visit. And one time she was looking at the map of Waterdeep, and there were some people around, and they moved away when you had your conversation with her, and then when you left, they went back and kept looking at the map. You think it might be one of these guys?
Is it dwarf?
No. It appears to be human, probably Walter Dabian, has a bit of an olive skin, very neatly, neatly shaved, and the robes he's wearing are very nice and neatly pressed. You know, someone that kind of like likes to keep a good image. And he has what appears to be like a stack of papers in one hand, and he's like, yes, come in. Well, actually, yes, over here. And he goes to a side door instead of going all the way to the stairs leading to the map room where all the historical blacksmiths. Opens the door and leads you inside, and there is a desk full of stuff there. There is like an abacus and like an astrolabe and all kind of like instruments and tools. Puts a stack of paper there and starts rummaging through the all the stuff that is essentially covering the desk. It's almost stuffy here as well. There's a bit of an incense burning, so it's a bit smoky and with a quite sharp smell. So you're here for the blacksmith. Well, the blacksmith is not around. She's on a mission. It's very important, but she left instructions for different type of visitors, and there were instructions for you.
I'm sorry, could we start with your name?
Oh yeah, of course. I am Sir Brennan. I work for the blacksmith.
I noticed you here before. Do you mind me asking what your position is?
Worry not about it. I'm a trusted advisor to the blacksmith.
No, trusted advisor. Right, got a new notebook, you see.
Yeah, you like take your notebook out.
Sir Brennan.
Sir Brennan.
Brennan.
The double N. The first N, not the second one.
You said she's on a secret mission.
Well, all her missions are secret or need to know basis.
Is that out in the sea or?
I mean, I wouldn't know, or I may, but this is need to know. You don't need to know.
Okay.
But there are instructions for you. Let me see. And he keeps going through the stack of paper and then gets a piece of note like Wintergarden. Yes, this is you, Mr. Wintergarden. Oh well, I mean the instructions are okay. Don't fuck up. That's like bullet points.
Always rule number one. That.
I wrote down bullet points because she was talking too fast about all the things that needed to be like written down. So it is a summary. This is like my interpretation of her words. I'm sure she didn't say it like this, but basically don't fuck up. And oh yes, the help. Yes. So the last thing she knew about it was that you had been involved in this Casa Lantern business, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so what's your next order of business in this hunt for the gold?
Have you got means of contacting her communicate while she's
Yes, only in case of absolute emergency. And it is not like that right now. I'm terribly sorry, but I can help you, but you need to tell me exactly what your next plan of action is.
Well, I see you said trusted advisor, but, you know, I'm aware that there's been some infiltration.
Oh, yes, she did mention your suspicions about infiltration. She had no comments about that.
Right. Well, I'll just tell you anyway.
Sure.
So, speaking of infiltration, I found another one.
Another what?
Yes. Aside from the loon, there is another one.
What do you mean aside from me?
Aside from the loon. Are you aware of the little halflings?
I mean,
Halums?
all
Halflings?
halflings are little.
Yes. There's 2 of them.
Halum, like
Yes.
the monk,
Yes!
the hermit.
Yes!
Yeah, he retains quite a few monks.
Yes, well, he tried to do a bit of infiltration himself. Did you know that?
Well, he works for the Order of the Gauntlet. He works outside the control of Blackstuff.
Right, well, I don't know how much use it is to you then, but his infiltrator has been turned.
Turned?
Yes,
What do you mean?
as in she is now working for the opposing team.
Sorry.
I don't think Halum knows.
Well, I mean, this is not something... Okay, so how is this relevant to your current mission?
Because she is part of the Xanadars?
Is it
Zentrim.
The Zentrim.
Yes.
Okay, well, I do have a note about that. So, you said before that that Manchun was back, or something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, you think that the Order of the Gauntlet has infiltrated the Zentrim operation, but now one of them has turned, and is a double agent.
Yes, you said
Isn't it possible that they may be a triple agent? And they said they turned to gain to the Zentrim's good graces, but they're still loyal to Halum.
Look, I'm going to have to do a bit more research to fully find out that, but I'm just letting you
In
know.
any case, this is just conjecture. I will let you deal with the situation, but I do have a note about the Zentrim. So the Blackstuff says that the masked lords are unwilling to countenance any kind of operation within the confines of Waterdeep with the current political climate, the chaos, the riots, and we need absolutely irrefutable evidence that Manchun is behind this, as you claim, in order to force the Masked Lord hands. Otherwise, the Open Lord, and thus the Blackstuff, cannot order any kind of operation. So, if you think that you can get this evidence, particularly evidence that will be important to force the Masked Lord hands, some of them are very reticent to believe these tall stories. The Open Lord suspects there's more at play there. So you should dig. You should dig. And if you can, bring evidence. Now, I understand they're going against the Century, particularly if it's true that Manchun is behind all of this. It is super dangerous. So I'm going to give you this. This is the last thing.
I was just going to ask, have you got any tools?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you
I
did.
got something that essentially the Blackstuff told me that she fears that you will eventually run out of luck. So she gave me something.
Luck.
Well, you've been quite lucky in dealing with
There's,
very
I don't believe
powerful
in
people
luck.
so far. Okay, well, anyway, just in case. And she gives you what appears to be a black dragon, a black coin, a Waterdeep dragon. So it's not like for circulation, it's not for buying and selling things, but it is minted in the same fashion as a gold dragon. And he says, put this you put this on the floor, on the ground, anywhere, and then your seal, give me your badge.
Well, I
Give me your badge.
Okay.
I need to attune to it. Grabs your badge and kind of like presses it against the coin and touches it for a while and mutters some words. Okay, there we go. Now, you put this in the ground, you put your badge on top of it, you touch the moon,
The moon. Yep.
and that will create a teleportation circle that will only last 6 seconds,
6 seconds.
that will teleport directly back to this tower. Now, essentially, it's a get the fuck out mechanism.
Right.
And the coin is usable only once, it will disappear into the circle.
Do I pick up the badge before?
Yeah, of course, you do that,
Good.
and then you don't leave the badge in the ground.
Good. Just checking.
Yes, can only be activated by an attuned badge and the owner of the badge. So only you can do this. In case, you somehow feel yourself restrained, your friends won't be able to do it.
Okay. Great. Anything else?
No, don't die, don't fuck up, bring evidence.
Do you know a guy who sells good things I can buy to help me? Any secret black stuff retailer? I could do with some kind of tracking device. You know how you can track me with this? That's useful if I can.
Look, you've been doing well with what you have, and I think you have everything you need to accomplish this task. I don't have instructions to take you to the quartermaster. Sorry.
Right, lack of resources. Yes, I'm used to this. It's fine.
Just be careful. Bring evidence. Don't take on. If he's truly here, don't take on him yourself. You're 100% dying.
Well, I have a team.
Well, yourself and your team. If your team is large enough and you have powerful spellcasters that can deal with such a. Do you understand how powerful Manchuni is?
What's the minimum requirement for the team members to take this?
Also, in the past, just so you know, Manchun used to like simulacrums.
Say again.
Essentially, clones
Clones.
that were a bit less powerful than himself, but
Right.
still fearsome. So maybe be careful. You don't know if you're dealing with him or a clone. The clones might be a bit less powerful. Just keep in mind.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Good. That's all.
Okay, Sir Brennan. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Wintergarden. I foresee a brilliant future in Grey Hands, if you make it, of course.
I will.
Sure.
See you soon.
See you soon. Don't test the coin. It's only one use.
Right. Okay. Can I receive more at any point in time?
These coins are incredibly expensive. And they are attuned to the Blackstaff Tower. We can't just give them we'll see.
Right. Okay.
This has to be countenanced by the Blackstaff herself.
Got it. Yes.
Good.
6-second urgency teleportation. Noted. Thank you.
And
Good day.
he kind of sits down behind the desk and keeps writing. You know your way out.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. So you go outside. We're gonna jump to these guys. So the doors were closed as you were trying to run, because what happened is you said, "Oh, I know some magic." I said, "Oh, are you registered?" And then she said, "Well, based on the level of magic, you don't need to be registered yet." But then you put the stuff there, and she touched it, and she's like, "Oh wow, this is vampiric stuff." So you were like, "Okay, I'll have the stuff." And it's like, "No, if you're having this stuff, you need to be registered." Then you try to make a run for it. Then she closed the doors and said, "Well, now you have to deal with the gargoyle because this is above my pay grade."
And she told me I smelled weird
Yeah.
again.
And she told me you smell weird and your cape smelled of rotten eggs and sulfur. So she kind of like closes her eyes for a second. Someone will be here to take you upstairs.
Yeah, this hasn't gone quite as expected.
I imagine not.
Alright, let's just see if we can get out of here as quick as possible.
Just
You
be
hear,
polite.
you hear footsteps, very heavy. As you see a shield guardian in all its glory coming downstairs. Were you here with Millie when they first came to see a gargoyle here?
Yeah.
So you recognize then this as the gargoyle's shield guardian. 1 second. Where are you?
I just don't go into the churches. No churches.
Yeah. Ulcoria Stone Marrow. That's the gargoyle.
Yeah.
So the shield guardian comes all the way downstairs and a little bow, looking at you both, and then comes over to the desk, extends the hand. Because you had made a run with the stuff, the receptionist tells you, give him the stuff and follow.
Put it in its hand.
Okay. Closes it, turns around, and starts walking upstairs. Receptionist kind of like gestures.
Start following it.
Okay, you start following. You're led directly to the second floor where Ulcoria has her office. You go past all these offices that are kind of like in a circle in terms of balconies all around, and then the shield guardian opens the door directly and steps in. And here you see this very Spartan, kind of almost like brutalist type of architecture room that is much bigger than it should be. I told you that dimensions here are a bit weird. The tower from the outside is big, but it's not too big. And from the ring, it definitely shouldn't lead into like this massive room, but it is, and it's all decorated in like the woven fashion. The stonework is beautiful, but it's very, very Spartan. She's sitting behind a super thick, heavy wooden desk, and the shield guardian kind of like goes there, puts the stuff down. She's pouring over some scrolls, some old scrolls, pouring over, not pouring. And the shield guardian kind of like steps to the side and stands there. She raises her head a bit, looks at you all. So what is this with the staff?
Well, we recovered it from a Zentrum wizard, and we just, as we were friends of Millicent's, thought we would come here to check if it was useful for our continued operations, working for the city, which it is, and obviously we were pleased to find out that it had some significance to Gadados going forwards, but unfortunately your receptionist took umbrage with that fact. I think she was maybe jealous of the.
She follows the book as she should. I thank you for not getting Millicent killed,
Well,
although it is a loss
her departure is
to the order.
fallen on heavy hearts, of course, with all of us.
Anyway, you say that you took this from Zentrim. She kind of like grabs it.
Yeah, a safe house down in the south of the city belonging to a wizard. Averine, was it?
Correct. Illegal necromantic magic. I never thought that Sir Davil would stood down to this.
Well, I think the...
Who exactly was this Averine, you say? I don't recognize the name.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're aware the Zentrum are undergoing somewhat of a transitional period in their leadership with some of them fractioning off, and I don't think this particular group was very fond of Davil or his
It seems
leadership.
interesting how this got here. This is not the kind of thing that minnows can get their hands on.
Well, rumour has it Manchun has returned to lead this fraction group, so I suppose they must have some powerful magic at their disposal.
As you say that, her eyebrow kind of like twitches like millimetrically. That was the only expression we've seen so far. Like, kind of like,
Manchun, you say?
Well, no, that is the rumblings on the in the underground. But more to the point, the staff, regardless of its the illicit means, given that we are working, I would say, for the good of the city, with the blessing previously of yourself and the black staff and some of our other associates, I believe would be a boon to Arion here, who is quite talented in the more martial.
So you will be
abilities.
the one using this?
I mean, it's not my usual weapon of choice, but given times, it would be useful.
You need to be careful with it. It is the kind of thing that can change you. It is indeed very useful. I am not as idiosyncratic as the rest of the order. I believe in that every tool has its uses, and I don't care what type of magic it is. If it is used to pursue our goals, I will have to register you. I seem to remember you from some time ago.
I've been here for a while, yes.
We probably have you on file then.
she starts going.
Oh, wait. You work for Matt.
Correct.
Well,
She takes a massive file.
let's see. Associates, trust. Yeah, there we are, Arion.
She kind of like puts her fingers over your name, mutters a word, and then a new line of like dwarven runes appears like just under your name.
Well, there you go. You're fine.
If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us more about what this does?
It's a vampiric staff. It charges every night at midnight. Can keep up to 10 charges. Charges when this eggs.
I can look at the thing, but I just that's my character.
One
Doesn't
this
have
egg
to
plus
look at
one charges.
And when you hit with it, you can spend one charge to convert the damage you do instead of whatever it is, bludgeoning, to necrotic, and you recover half of the damage in hit points. So you absorb half of the damage as hit points for yourself.
It is, that kind of magic can change you, as I say, so be careful with it, but I trust, based on your file, that you'll put it to good use. As for you, when have you developed the magic?
Well, have I developed?
When have you developed your recent access to magic? This is what the receptionist tells me.
I've always had some affinity towards certain schools, mainly just illusions, small things. But, I think it's lineage based, perhaps. But I read a bit as a boy.
What's your full name? Like, what's the name of, you say lineage? Are you talking about your tiefling ancestry, or?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you've got ways of finding out, so no need to
Oh yeah, of
be
course.
coy about it. Silas, all bears.
From your bases.
All bears.
She starts going through like some books.
This is
Sure,
not
there'll be
gonna be
nothing
here.
on there.
not a magical family. Interesting.
No, it's just small bits and bobs. No, I don't think I need any kind of paperwork to do party tricks.
No, but we can help you, given time. Come to me if you need any guidance, help. Eventually you may have to register. For the time being, just be careful.
What's the limit on magical use without registering? Just to keep myself on the safe side.
First level spells.
Trying to roll deception. Oh, well, I don't know enough about it to know quite what that means, so I'm sure I'm alright.
Very well.
So, up to first level is fine. If you can cast second or more, you need to register.
I can cast invisibility, which is a second level spell, but it's a racial trait. Does that count?
No. This is specifically arcane magic.
Okay. Yeah, that's
It doesn't even include druid magic, clerical magic, and it doesn't include, and there is a big controversy about that, and they don't know how to deal with it, pact magic, because it's totally out of the scope of arcane knowledge. It is literally power from an entity.
just out of interest, should I choose to register now? Is there any kind of any benefit that would grant me? I know Millicent sort of had access to some aid, and we're up
Millicent's
against.
situation it's a bit different. They were a natural, they were a sorcerer, and particularly chaotic at one, quite powerful. So the guidance that we could offer them was more related to keeping it under control. If you have more of the traditional arcane access to magic, then you would find good use of our library, for instance, to do your research. If you know what you're going up against, it's always useful to be prepared. If your magic is, if you don't know the origin of your magic and it all comes naturally to you, then you don't find as much usefulness from the library as you would be able to learn them much more. But
I think it came from books mainly. Recently, a few outliers, a couple of unknowns, but nothing alarming.
that's very good. In situations that justify it, we can give you scrolls that you can cast, and we can always identify any magic objects you find, like the staff, and in fact you must bring them. You can't. We need an active registry of every single magic object out there, at least for a registered mage. Of course, people that have obtained objects like this illegally, like this Averine, we don't know about them, but we have to know about them all.
What about this is your receptionist pointed out that it smells of eggs, I think she said.
That's
She touches it,
Kind of step back slightly.
grabs a pearl.
Careful, it's very fine.
Yes. This. Why did you get this?
It was acquired from a friend was leaving town and getting few of some.
Make a deception check.
It's a natural 20.
Oh,
Getting rid of a few of their old belongings.
Well, your friend either didn't know what they have in their hands, or they were indeed very generous. This is an object of infernal alignment.
Oh, that's why probably it looks so fitting.
It is it was weaved, as far as I can tell, in the Nine Hells themselves, and the spirit of a hellhound was attached to it. There is something more. There are certain types of magic that a simple identify spell won't help with. There is the spirit of the hellhound is strong with this one. It's useful. Be careful. Same as with the staff. This is powerful magic, and I believe every tool has its use. I just recommend caution when the origins of the magic isn't as clear cut and understood as with this type of objects.
Okay. Very well. I think we're good here, aren't we? We'll be careful. Certainly.
If you need any help, you can always come by, but don't piss off the receptionist. Again, please.
Maybe just teach her to be a little bit more tactile.
She's doing her job and she does it well. She has a short fuse.
I guess it's good to be cautious in these times. All right. Well, thank you. You know, for someone with such a powerful moniker, you're certainly a lot more friendly than
Monica?
you know. Just you present yourself very specifically, kind of looking around at the room.
Not everything that the Watch of All does is good. Don't call people names. Don't learn them.
Very well. My apologies. I meant no ill will. I guess we should leave. Give all the best. Thank you.
Go now.
Ilkoria.
I'm busy.
And she goes back to like pouring over the scrolls.
I thought you'd be pleased with it. I thought it was like a mark of honour.
I think it went about as well as it could have.
Oh, pretty good. You kept the staff. That's something.
And you learned something, maybe.
I don't think I did.
He didn't register at the end, did he?
I didn't register. Wait, well, I've had to have registered because I have a magical cape.
So they know about you, but no. Essentially, because you're not registered, there wasn't like a place to already like assign that you are holding that cape. But you get the feeling that she made a note, but it's not official. Well, Korea is, she, from what you gather, and you Arian, actually make a history check. With charisma, because this is more about personality, not intelligence.
It's not going to be good. Personal skills. Do you have that? My. Say a 6.
6. You see, I mean, yes, you know her, and you know it. You get the feeling that she was a person with a certain reputation that tended to ruffle some feathers sometimes, but you can't exactly remember what it was.
Yes.
But she was always very respected. It's just that she was a bit. The only thing you remember is sometimes she was a bit unconventional, and yeah.
Probably go try and see if Ginhorn's made his way north then before we last long.
Okay. So you're going back to the portal, or?
We're good to Trench.
I guess we're meant
To Trench. Yeah. Okay. And you, Niall?
Go back to portal.
To the portal.
Mm.
Right. So you're going to be waiting there until they come back. Right. So you'll meet at the.
Just give an Emmett stairs for the window. Next door.
Yeah. You will meet outside Trench's office. This would be now early in the morning, because you went and in the wee hours of the morning is when you attacked the Zentrum house, and then you went to all these other things. So yeah, it's about like 8 a.m. Dawn, red sky, and clouds in the horizon promising snow. You all meet outside Trench's house, and do you go in or?
Oh, take your time getting in.
Had a little bit of a run-in with that little courier woman. You remember one of Millie's lot at the magic house?
Alright, what did you do?
I just needed to make sure that Arian here was capable of controlling that magic and that stuff.
Alright, fair enough.
It's an interesting item.
What about you?
Yeah, I figured out what these potions do, so that's useful. But yeah, just been waiting around here, nothing much happened. Saw a few squirrels, but it's quite a quiet day out here. No one go by the mansion either, so.
Yeah, that's good. Is Sin Trench about? Is he in?
I've not. I assume he's in. He's always in during the day, right?
As you're talking, actually, you see a small cart being pulled with materials, and 3 workers that are going. And as they see you, they enter like right next to where the trench is. So they look at, they notice you. Hey, masters! And they keep like pulling the cart to the manor.
What are we here for?
I think it was to go and ask him about if he knew about the double crossing infiltration, something about that. If I rewatched the last episode, that's why you should probably recap after a month off. But you know,
That's about right, maybe.
can I roll a memory check? Do you remember why we were?
Oh, wait, no. Is it possible we were seeing if you knew anything about Sidra Roma? Because remember that body said that she hasn't turned up anywhere, so maybe Trench might have an idea where to find her.
That is possible. Yes,
I guess we can ask him all these things.
we can ask him lots of things.
Arian, any ideas?
Those seem like good things to ask her.
Anything
So
you
wait,
want to ask
sorry,
him?
what body? What is it about?
The Averine's body said that Sidra, she didn't know where Sidra Roma was, so
Oh, yeah.
I think we were also planning to ask Trench if he knew where she was.
Okay.
Which he probably will.
So you go inside.
Yeah, not that.
Alright, you go inside and the door is open.
Hello.
So you enter Trench's office, and he's kind of like standing there looking at a corkboard where he's put like pins on different
Pepe Silvia.
yeah, with different like pieces. And one thing that you notice is actually, as soon as you enter, yeah, he kind of looks at you all. I remember that I told you that the corkboard was kind of had like little like closet doors. And he goes and closes it as soon as you enter. Make a perception check. Yeah, everyone make a perception check.
Good. 21. 17.
17,
15.
15. What languages do you guys speak?
I speak Common, Druidic, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, and Sylvan.
Wow, that's a lot.
Can't remember what languages are, but
They're under your
Proficiencies and languages.
Draconic, Elvish, and Orc.
Draconic Ocean Orc.
Just common and infernal.
So, what do you roll?
15.
15. Okay. So you, Arian, you notice lots of scribbled notes, different script, and it all appears to be a language, but you can't recognize the language. And there are like crude drawings, and one of them appear to be of Captain Zardo's sword, just because it's so obvious to recognize the kind of the drawing. The rest are you only get a glimpse and too generic. And you, the same thing, but you also recognize that every single note is written in Infernal. As you close it.
At 21, I don't get any of the words.
You
There's not like a big one at the top.
well,
like,
there is
my
so
father.
there is so there you next to the drawing of Captain Zord, it says Zord question mark, and there are like bullet points up underneath it, but you can't tell what the bullet points are, and then there is a symbol that you recognize as the Xanatar symbol, and there are like a bunch of like very tiny like writings underneath, and you can't quite recognize what they are too. And then there's another of the drawings that you recognize a bit. Well, you don't recognize, you know what it is, but there is a hand, like a single hand, like somewhere up there, and they're like it's all like weirdly connected, and more names or pieces of text written.
How bizarre.
Looks at you all.
Welcome back.
Alright.
Sits
Cards,
down.
cards on the table, Mr. Trench. Your behaviour at the docks was kind of a little bit suspicious.
Yeah, he ran away.
Care to explain?
No, I don't care to explain. I don't need to explain myself to you. We had the deal. You would bring me there with you. I decided to not go in the end.
Does he seem flustered when he does that?
Make an insight check.
Or is he confident in that? Only 8 plus.
I was gonna say good for like I assume we're all
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, everyone make insight checks.
No, that's all right.
mine's like 5.
So 15.
15.
I get that much, right? Might be 12.
So,
Same 15.
15. And
12.
No,
you only figure that for some reason he definitely doesn't want to talk about this. He's kind of like, he kind of like reads a bit and sucks from his pipe. He's like annoyed at even having to explain himself.
Well, moving on then. We recently came across some information regarding some of the what's the monk's guy name?
Halloum.
No, it's Halloum the monk.
Oh. Wait, which guy's name?
The monk on top of the mountain.
Hello.
Yeah.
You aware of the monk Halloum on top of the mountain?
Yes.
You aware that he has some people spying around in the city on his behalf?
Very well.
Well, it's possible that some of them might be working for the other side now. Did you hear anything about that?
Double agents are nothing new.
Would you be able to maybe
I'm pretty sure every faction has double agents.
have a sniff around for us?
Sniff around, you say? You want to know what exactly?
Well, if you could see if you could spot both of the people, make sure they're still alive and breathing, and if you get any information about look suspicious about their activities.
What people? The monks.
The monks, yeah.
2 halflings specifically, Mookie and Javier.
Hmm.
One of them apparently has turned.
You want to know their whereabouts?
I want to know their allegiance.
Well, that may be a lot more difficult. How would I even gather that information? I can tell you, I can find where they are. I can't interview them. Surely not.
That'd be a helpful start, I guess, wouldn't it? We could do some of our own investigating, maybe.
I can follow them around if I find them, see if anything suspicious turns up. Places that point at foul play, but everything would be circumstantial evidence.
What would you expect the turnaround to be on that information?
Give me a couple of days.
Is there any way we can expedite this process to the...
Normally it's 50 dragons per target. These are 2 targets, so 100 dragons.
for a 25% bonus, 125, I can do it in one day.
Does he owe us something? Just tell him to whisper under. Does he owe us something? Does he? Isn't he under the?
You have credit with him.
Yeah, we got like 50 dragons credit.
Yeah.
So that's 25 dragons each. Right now we can.
But it's I'm going to be honest with you.
So it will be 75 then.
I've been overly just throwing money away with it lately. Don't really have a lot of me. Do you have all that platinum though?
Keth left us all a bit, didn't he?
What was
That's
it
all
about the time frame?
Yeah, even a day is quite a long time, isn't it?
It's just out of the monks. Are they working for? So there's Xanatars.
Yeah.
Not the Xanatar.
Xanatar's the one in the Colette Towers, yeah.
No, Zentrum and the one that covers it.
And then
Xanatar is the beholder,
Okay.
and he runs Xanatars, which is basically like the thieves guild, essentially.
And this is Zentrum with the Colette Towers. They're the ones with the halflings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's one.
But even then, it's not even the Zentrum; it's a Zentrum splinter
Yeah.
group. Just
But
to-
what I'm from the point of view that if you were going to go and do that soon, then obviously it'd be more useful if it was the other faction.
yeah, it'd be more useful to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe we can scrape by, just ask around and see if we can find anything on our own. You said you bumped into one of them just in the yawning pool, so maybe we could ask around there. You know the barkeep pretty well. Maybe he has some indication as to where they could be going, how frequent their visits are.
Sure.
What might be more useful than paying out for what could end up being either a dead end or a bit too late in the time.
I wonder if it could be more useful with some of our other issues.
Yeah. Do you want to mention
Yeah, I've heard. Okay.
the other one? Let's put a pin in this one.
So Sidra,
Yeah.
one of Manchun's lieutenants.
Presumably Manchun.
Huh?
Do you even have evidence about Manchun?
Well, yeah. Well, you want me to show you the evidence? Do I need to show you? So, I don't need to know about your things, but you need to know about my things.
I was just asking, you don't need to show me anything.
I have evidence.
Very well.
Do we actually have evidence?
Deception then.
5.
He just sits there looking at you. So one of Manchun's lieutenants?
Yep. Sidra Ramar, yeah. Aware of her?
Never heard of the name.
Okay. What about Manfred Cherrypot?
I know the little guy.
Alright, do you know where he is right now?
No.
Well,
I mean, how would I?
well,
If I don't keep tabs in everyone in Waterdeep,
If you wanted to find him, where would you go?
I would ask questions here and there.
Here? There?
Could you get his
My
location
contacts.
to us within the next few hours?
I couldn't.
20 gold?
I could do this for your credit.
Well, no, I think 20 of the credit would be good. Well, look, this is a mutually beneficial situation for both of us here. We
Is
help
it
you.
now?
Well, obviously, we're not the only ones investigating this situation, and any information that you uncover from us paying you to uncover it is helping you in all your other investigations.
Make a persuasion check. With advantages, you're all kind of like assisting.
Oh, natural 20.
He smiles at you. Very well.
Sorry, I don't mean to. You've made an excellent case, but I'm just gonna huddle.
Team huddle.
At Corns, they said that Manfred Cherrypot was likely he's been holed up in the towers, so it might be difficult to get hold of. Maybe we should just put him on Sidra, because if she's not in the towers, she might be a bit more accessible.
He doesn't know who that is.
But
Yeah.
he's got a network to find out, surely.
Yeah, but if this guy leaves the tower, then it might be easy to pick him off outside the tower.
It's very small.
It's more likely he's going to be able to find this quite quicker in the next few hours.
Yeah, I'll trust you on this one.
Comes back and
Information's
says,
good
"I found
information.
it."
A break!
Sorry, just some.
So you want me to find this man for cherry port?
Yeah, if you could in the next few hours, it'd be useful.
Just so you know, he doesn't move a lot. I can give you for free even. That is very rarely seen in the city, so in the next few hours, it is entirely possible that he's just holed up wherever he is.
How about then you? We believe he runs in similar circles with the other people that we were asking for. So I assume you have some contacts in the city that you would go to try and find this information. So if he is, as you say, maybe absent from the city currently, just float those other names around, and if any of them give you a stronger lead for someone that's a bit more, you follow them. So follow the first goose that bites the breadcrumb, as it were.
Essentially, you want me to find
One
as
of
much as I can about this Centrim splinter group, high-value individuals.
Well, just maybe present this list of names to your usual people that you would go to for Manfred. If any of them give you one strong indication on any of the other names, just follow that specific lead. Not asking you to go on full force on all four, just whichever one comes up the strongest.
Very well.
You know, a spread of bets rather than one.
This could get dangerous. I will do it for 20 gold. But then, if things become hairy, I'm pulling out. Not even accepting hazard pay. Just so you know.
Very well.
Seems reasonable.
Anything else?
As he starts like grabbing his trench coat, his hat.
Would either of you mind if I just had a quick word with Mr. Trench in private?
Yes.
Well, I will take your grievances fully into consideration, but we'll go ahead with it regardless.
Alright, okay.
I promise it's nothing untoward. Just a quick clarification on something.
I'm already holding the door open for again.
Okay. So you're both waiting outside. He kind of like standing in front of his desk, grabs what appears to be some kind of umbrella, and he's looking at you.
Yes.
So then, in Infernal, I will say to him, fluent in Infernal.
Narrows his eyes. Starts walking towards the door, kind of like gesturing for you to come with him.
No need to
And
be
says-
so coy.
As you walking towards the door, he says,
There are things that you better don't dig into. It's gonna be better for everyone.
Okay. Well, you're an interesting man, Mr. Trench, I'll say that. But,
as he closes his eyes, as he blinks for a moment, you notice, and this is the first time you notice this, so he's obviously doing it on purpose. You notice his eyes suddenly become like
Like cat's eyes.
like cat's eyes for a second, and exactly the ones in the sign outside. You know that it was cat's eye, like
Oh yeah, the two amber.
Yeah.
eyes,
like that, and then he blinks and he's back to his human amber eyes.
Be careful what you wish for.
Opens the door and gestures for you to come.
Is that, was there someone upside down with a mask with eyes like that you visited
What?
you the night?
What?
Yeah. You know when I got visited in the night and I couldn't pin the voice? Didn't they have really distinct eyes?
I don't know. No, it wasn't this.
Okay.
Everyone's got different eyes. I try and do a sideways blink.
as Silas comes out, you're all waiting there in the hallway. Kind of like grabs a very heavy key ring, like that has like 30 or 40 keys. Pulls it out from his trench coat. Closes one, looking at you. Closes the second lock. And starts walking like behind you, kind of like. He's actually quite big, like broad-shouldered, and this is like a narrow hallway that leads straight to the door outside. And there are other doors that presumably lead to like several apartments. This is the last apartment, that little hallway, and it's kind of like essentially pushing you out or waiting for you to like come out.
Back to the all-important then.
Well, if we might want to go and get what's his face?
Oh, Big Orc.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
bring him with us.
Zero.
Right, come in.
He's not in. At the least we can tell him to meet us at the portal.
He was in when I went, wasn't he?
You left a note saying to meet at the portal with Fun.
Okay, sorry. That was it.
Any information you dig up, anything, you know, even the first sniff of any of these, if you could drop it in at the portal, leave it with what's his name? Dernan. That'd be great. We might be around.
Very well. With Dernan address to you.
You's fine, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, just address again one.
Very well.
He comes up. Looks at you all. Looks up. Kind of like hunches a bit under his trench coat and walks away.
Can I make a roll with infernal knowledge for any kind of sun-hating infernal creatures that also might possibly hate water or be scared of boats?
Okay, make an Arcana check.
I reckon I know what he is.
18.
18. So you would know mostly about like the most famous legendary creatures from the Nine Hells. No one rings a bell. Like sun, water, cat eyes. Nothing that you know triggers your memory.
Is he gone now?
Mhm.
I assume he like walked.
Yeah, kind of like loitering around in the middle of the alley.
Did you catch eyes of that sort of spider diagram he's got going on in the back of his office when we walked in?
Yeah, I saw it. Was there. Didn't really see it.
Investigation on Zord.
Yeah, but it's strange. It's all written in infernal. So, you know, just to put your mind's ease to think I'm not trying to double cross you or anything. You know, I just gave him a slip of conversation at the end there, in the common tongue, and did some weird thing with his eyes where they looked quite like they do on the sign, and then, you know, told me not to dig any deeper, and that was that. But he's a strange man, given his show the other day at the docks, and his apparent fright and seeming aversion to being out in the day, well, wherever he goes in the evenings, because he's not in the office. I'm not saying we break into his office and rifle through his stuff and, you know.
As you're already picking that.
Yeah. But I can't help myself. Just quite an odd character, isn't he?
Imagine it's best to get one outside.
Oh, no,
That's what
absolutely.
they say though. Takes one to know one.
Well, there's that, but just
Right.
bizarre.
It's getting close to lunchtime now anyway.
No, he isn't.
It's about like 11 a.m. What are you doing, Niall, at the portal?
I'm at the bar. Who's at the bar?
At the bar?
Dylan.
Yeah, Dernan is at the bar.
I'll give Dylan a nod.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. Any chance you know if Mayloon's in or out right now?
I haven't seen him this morning, no.
Oh, did you see him last? Was he here last night?
He was here last night when I went to bed, yes.
Is that what? He came in, he didn't leave last night. You see, was he coming or going?
I mean, what do you mean? I went to bed at my usual time. I know he was here when I went to bed.
That's all. It's fine. I just wanted to know before I give him a knock.
Sorry to interject. Just a reminder. I told you that I saw him leave really early in the morning, carrying like a stack of papers.
Yeah.
Did you tell me?
Yeah. He was carrying like
Yeah.
a big stack of papers.
I was just checking it's okay.
What, giving him a knock? He's not there.
He's not there.
Well, as far as I can tell, he's not there. He hasn't been for breakfast, and Bonnie knocked on his door earlier this morning and he didn't answer.
Does he usually come for breakfast?
Sometimes he doesn't, he's not here every morning.
Oh, so he hasn't got like a routine.
What do you want?
I just want to sync up with him is all.
Well, he's not here tomorrow. Yeah, sorry, today. Try tomorrow.
Thank you. No drinks for me.
No breakfast.
No, I'll wait for the others. I'm
Okay,
sure they'll be here soon.
sure thing. So you'll make your way back to the portal.
Oh, I really wanted you to go and try and like pick his lock or something. The sleuthing adventures of Niall with him. It's locked.
That's just remembered I got a level of exhaustion as well. All the ability checks should have been with disadvantage.
Who has a level of social? Oh yeah,
Like
you.
5 or...
Yeah.
Ah, it was like a thing.
I didn't actually do anything.
So you all make your way back to the portal. As you leave the Trollskull Alley, you already notice the workers are kind of like laying out some of the wooden supports where they're gonna put the tiles. They're gonna do thatching, and then the tiles. It's already starting to look a lot more covered, that top floor particularly. You make all the way to the portal, and you enter there. You see hanging there at the bar with a pitcher of water and a wooden mag, presumably with water.
No drink. I'm just filing my
Yeah, no,
nails.
they put it there for
Okay,
you. But
I'm just filing my nails.
Niall. And the tavern, which is like normal BC.
I'm here. Over here. There you are.
Hard to miss. And white, shining.
Also hard to miss with a stomach like that.
What? I always call my
Right.
character fat.
Is this just... Are we just going to come up with insults so we can eat some food?
Yes, I was waiting for you.
Oh, thank you. Right, hello, Bonnie.
Hello, big guy. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. What's the lunch today?
Oh, mutton.
Great, we'll have 5 muttons.
5 muttons. Okay. They prepare lunch for you with the usual, like 2 copper pieces per person.
Just got some cash, you know?
And they offer you with some watered down ale as part of the breakfast.
How much was it?
Two nips per person.
I'll take everyone's cutlery and start washing it in my water mug.
Everyone back.
Okay. Yeah. So again, boys, as you are having lunch, what are you doing?
I'm not a generous man.
Brunch is
My 2 nibs.
2 nips.
Yeah.
Give this to Kenhun.
Oh no, I ordered 2 portions.
Huh?
He
Oh,
ordered-
you
yeah.
ordered 2 portions. Okay.
He ordered 5
Yeah.
lambs.
So you are all having brunch as usual comings and goings in the tavern.
So, yeah, what are we thinking then?
You all had a productive morning.
Well, yeah, I found out those 2 potions we found. I assume we're like reasonably kind of secluded enough.
Yeah, you can. There are like empty cubicles, so you can go to one of the cubicles around the main.
Have a reasonably quiet conversation. Yeah, the 2 potions we've got, so they're pretty powerful. Might become useful. You found out about that staff.
Well, I mean, yeah. No. The stuff's useful, but I mean, just admin, really. Not much going on. Getting a bit antsy about this. We need to do something quite quickly, I think. I'm just trying to work out what's best to do next. And when.
Is there any news from the Blackstaff?
She wasn't there. I spoke to a Sir Brennan, trusted advisor, but you never know, do you?
I had the name.
What, didn't she call you to go?
Sorry?
No, you wouldn't.
Didn't she call you to go there?
When I was in the bath. No, she didn't say go there. She just said to keep doing a great job.
No, but why did you go and visit her?
Because I wanted to tell her information which I couldn't over the phone. Over the badge.
Wait,
I thought, was he not called?
He was called in the bath.
But you weren't told to go?
No, not told.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
She's off on a secret mission. I assume she's somewhere in the middle of the sea because, I've observed a few things every time I've been there. Did you notice that one time there was a map?
The map.
Yeah, they were talking over a map. Nice, I seen a flashing dot. Anyway,
did you just say you think they're in the middle of the sea?
yes.
Wasn't that where the dragon
Why?
I don't know. Secret missions.
That's really unusual.
was? Unless this is all a conspiracy with the sea people and they've come to take over Waterdeep.
Just got the right name for it for them. Maybe they were confused.
Maybe they were. Maybe they turned up and they were like, oh, it's not underwater.
Oh, it's not very deep here at all.
Yeah.
In fact, it's dry.
What
Much
is
like
it?
this land.
So now they've got to get some water and ship the water in. It's
It's all going off on tangents here.
It is. What are we doing? I mean, we need to go. We asked Trench to dig around a bit on various individuals, but we're up against it a bit here. I think this morning was not good. Let's be honest. We didn't get anything. We got the staff. There wasn't any information there that was usable, and we've overshot massively in that was a big part of the Zentrim's operations, and they, 2 things are going to happen. They're either going to turtle up and basically shut down, not thinking that there's a bigger attack on its way, or they're going to be bloodthirsty and come after us. So we need to decide what we're going to do.
Right. Should we pay a visit to Halum?
That's miles away. I mean, open discussion.
My suggestion would be to first visit a temple. I'm not feeling well after this morning. And then perhaps take a look at the towers. If we can get inside, have a peek about. I'm not saying do anything at this point.
yeah. Well, we can just go in there. From the sounds of it, we'd be able to go and have a look around without people being too suspicious of us.
But the other halfling might be in danger. No?
We don't know which one though. We don't know.
Or
No, I
where.
know, but we need to. I feel like Halum needs to be in a group. So you can at least control it.
I mean, what about that paper Millie had? Someone's got that.
I've got it.
somewhere. Can't we? We'll write one of them to him and send that.
I don't know how to use it. I think it's already been used.
Okay.
No. The blank sheets.
I know how to write on paper. I can do it.
Like,
What's your handwriting like? In fact, what can you write?
I can write.
Arian can write it. You're an official man.
Why is no one letting me write anything these days?
Look, if I don't
About
trust.
one bad letter.
do we have a blank?
Yeah, we've got one.
You have
I'm
more
not
than
sure
one.
if I have it.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah, I think
your
How-
inventory.
How
someone
long
has
does it
it.
take us to walk back down from?
Millie had.
It was like a good day. It was like half a day up, half a day down, because we slept there and then left.
Yeah. Okay.
It took a long time.
Yeah, it was a long. If you took the long way and not the dangerous way, it would have been. If you left in the morning, you would have arrived like in the evening. So it would take a whole day.
How long would it take for a bird to fly there?
A bird, not a long time. No.
Don't get the griffin out. We'll get arrested.
No, but
I have a horse. Very fast horse. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Slide one of the papers over to you.
Okay, I will. So what should I say? Just a warning of Javier or Mookie, one or the other.
well, there might be a way to get a message there and back quicker.
How do you know this is not going to be intercepted?
Well, I mean, I don't, but what's your method?
Well, I don't personally have access to this kind of magic,
Wonderful.
but Melanor might be able to help us out with an animal messenger up there that could get a message and get a message back maybe. If I ask really nicely.
A message back isn't the worst because this is one-way communication as far as I'm aware. Unless we try and tie a piece of paper to it for him to send back, but I don't...
Will the animal be able to return a response?
I think so, let me just check.
Well, if you need to go to a temple, and I mean, you look charred to worse than the hells could offer, so I assume you probably want to go to a temple as well,
Well, I mean,
given that you're all
if,
privy to this kind of thing.
if you wanted to, if you wanted to wait till tomorrow, I could do the message tomorrow.
I honestly just don't think we have the time. I appreciate that, you know, we've been through the wars a bit, but we need to keep a foot on the gas to some extent. Not that I know what that means, because cars don't exist.
They don't come back. It's one way. It's exactly the same as the paper, but technically.
We need.
He's a thing, right? He does the things with the mad. You weren't there. You weren't at the mountain.
Oh.
He does the things. Like
He does things.
he's a diviner, isn't he? He's a diviner, right?
As far as you can tell, he's a monk with some clerical powers.
So surely he must have a. If he's contacting the black stuff, he must have a way of contacting us. We'll send a letter and tell him to contact us if he has any information. He's got to be able to do it.
But we have the information.
No, but we're gonna tell him that one of those halflings is compromised, possibly. And then he might come back and be like, yes, I know X, Y, Z. Or he might be like, no, they're not compromised. That's part of the plan. You know.
You're basically sending a message to give us a message so that we can give him a message.
Yes. Well, not the last bit, but the first two bits are right.
We will send him our information on this bird, and he will see his way to sending a message back to us. Assuming he can.
Right.
Assuming he can.
Yes, well, I'm just hope it makes it. I think it's very important information.
Can... What?
To put people in danger.
What's a maybe we could write it in a language that he would be able to speak, but isn't. Maybe other people wouldn't. Is that daft?
And one we're also able to speak.
Well, yeah, presumably you can speak Elvish.
Well,
I can
mean,
speak
I've
Elvish.
got an interview at this point in time. There's magic around for reading things like that. Plus, if I wanted to get something read, I could just go and find someone in town.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe we're overcomplicating it.
Fine, I'll ride the horse.
Wait, that's...
I
That's
suppose
the
he
wrong
was,
position.
by the way, he says you haven't been to visit him recently.
When did you visit the
Oh,
horse?
I didn't. I just checked that you haven't been. You were supposed to be looking after him.
I seen him on my way to the Blackstaff.
Did you say hello? Did you take him a carrot?
Give him a smile.
Oh,
He's
that's
somebody
okay.
who's cared for there. They feed him. It. Haven't checked.
Right. Well,
Maybe start the letter with like, Haloom,
he.
if there are people behind you, find a private room. There is sensitive information in this letter. Or maybe we could write a code. Maybe write it in code. No, that's confusing. I don't know if he knows any ciphers. What's a common cipher?
We don't use a common one because then everyone can decipher it.
Does
This
anyone
is
know
impossible.
someone who could send a direct message? Yeah,
I mean,
magic.
not unless he's in the room, basically. Let's try the letter. I think it's fine.
Well, do you want to quickly go and speak to Marnor and see if he knows a way?
You haven't prepared sending, no.
Huh? No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't got it.
Sending is what I thought. Send the animal
It's
messages,
third level. You can cast it if you prepare.
Yeah, well, come, that's overnight, right? Are you asleep?
No, you can't rest. No, you need to wait 24 hours. But I'm saying.
Very well. Let's go see Eleanor. She can presumably provide healing for Arian.
Yep.
And then we can kill 2 bird letters with 1 stone.
Yes, we can. Is there anything to stop an animal messenger carrying an item that's small, like a piece of paper that they could write on and it comes back as an airplane?
No, the spell. The animal literally looks for the target of the spell, like alights somewhere, and just burps the message, and then goes do its own thing, crack a nut or whatever.
Yeah, could like tie this paper to its feet.
It's very non-secretive. It's just like, here's all the secret information, and then flies away.
Maybe.
Yeah, with the piece of paper, it goes, you won't be smart enough to like.
What if we got some staples and stapled one piece of the paper to the other? We wrote on one and folded it, technically speaking.
And then we send a courier with the paper when it falls off.
And then we patent the stapler idea.
I'll deliver the paper via horse.
2 days later, I got lost in the mountains.
How quick could you get there on horse? Presumably it would take a long time.
It's got a fast horse.
It is a fast horse. It's probably faster than a bird.
Okay,
Let me attacked by
let
Harvey.
me check. Let me check.
You'd have to catch me first.
Yeah.
Okay,
It'll be in front of you.
who are you, secretariat?
Secretariat.
Yeah, secretariat.
I was thinking, like, is that a Greek god?
It's a horse. It's
Yeah,
a famous
yeah, it
horse.
is the horse.
What
What are you doing here?
Or we could just take the griffin.
We can't take the griffin because we'll get arrested.
Well, would we? Because technically,
Yes.
it could be natural magic.
It's more the flying an unauthorized griffin that we're pretty sure he shouldn't have had in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
You will take, because the climb is actually not like, it's not a racetrack. It's it's rocks and winding terrain, and at some point you need to like go carefully up and whatnot. It's not gonna be as fast as it could be. The horse won't. Instead of 12 hours, it will probably take you 6 to 7.
Well, let's send the bird. Here's what we'll do. We'll write it and send it now, then we'll head to the temple, and then in that time, maybe it'll reach them and we'll get a response.
Maybe we assume Helum has sending or means of contacting us somehow. We encrypt the letter, and then tell him to send us a message, and then we reply with a key.
Sorry, keep asking questions about the mountain and this big.
PGP, you just invented PGP.
If you were a creature that could climb at 40 foot per round, how fast could you climb up the side
You
of the
would
mountain?
tire, is the problem with that. You can't climb indefinitely.
Spiders can.
Well, what, like a spider?
Yeah.
Rats!
So a giant spider would probably climb. It would still count as difficult terrain, a lot of it, because it's snowed in, and
You can just go the short
so there are
route.
places where the spider won't. But it will be a spider will probably do it in 2 hours.
As a spider, I estimate I could do it in about 2 hours.
Sold!
But that's not quicker than the flying magical paper.
No, but we can confirm it's been received.
Yeah, and I can come
by the right
back.
person, and he can
It's not like I've got everything else better to do today, so.
I-
The only downside is that my magical form as a spider only lasts exactly 2 hours. So it could be very close to the top.
Just shout out the messages you're falling.
I mean no ill will, but your level of communication in important circumstances has
Hey.
been somewhat
Hey, yeah,
questionable.
this morning I sorted out the problem with the guards I did a good job there.
You did, to be fair, that you did.
We could spend a day without Genhorn. What's so bad about that? We could be productive.
I got this. Right, what message? Let me write the message down.
How about, yes, Arian writes you a piece of paper and you deliver that to him and then
Alright,
it's
yeah.
clear.
About my character sending a message me to the moon.
Right. So, what are you gonna write?
Don't know. When am I writing? I use my things. I'm not logical.
So, what do we need to write? One of the halflings is a spy. We believe one of the halflings is a spy. Has any of them stopped reporting to him? Does he know this? Can he use his divination to locate those halflings? Could be good.
Maybe do some tests to see which side they're really on.
Can I say I wrote that? Because
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
yeah.
going to be able to read it.
Do you want me to just write bullet points
Also,
of what we're going to ask?
also let us know if there's an easier way of communicating with you.
One of the halflings
Yeah, can I get some?
is a spy.
What do they have to go? What do they have to take away? Just a bit of scraps or something. I need some food when I get to the top of the mountain to get my energy back, so they couldn't climb down.
Chicken nuggets.
What do you mean?
So spy is a given.
Oh, so
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, like lunchbox.
It's a
Okay.
double agent.
Yeah, they can prepare you a lunchbox.
Like a
Potentially.
proper, like.
Yeah, they can prepare you like a little.
They have a microwave at the top.
What's it called when it's scry?
What?
I was going to say, can he scry on them to check?
There's all your spell slots because we don't have any.
Should we give him the magical paper, just in case he can't talk to us any other way? We can give it to
No,
him.
he can tell Genhorn though. Oh,
No, I mean,
yeah,
So we need to
when he
communicate with them
leaves.
again. Yeah, give them.
Yeah, take a piece.
Alright.
I'll just ask him if he can send us a message. If he can't, give him the paper, then otherwise give it back.
Alright.
What happens if you get attacked by some bird that wants to eat you, like a giant bird that thinks you're prey on the mountain? Like, that's a big old juicy spider. We got attacked by harpies last
He's a
time.
giant spider.
A giant spider.
Any bird that big would be shot down.
We can talk about what ifs all day long.
Oh, it's invisible.
Have faith.
Oh, a cave troll, I don't know.
Well, they don't hang out on the side of the mountains, do they? So.
Or a frost troll.
On the side of the mountain,
He's a big boy.
facing water deep.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just be careful, I guess.
We don't tell you what ifs every time you climb a building, and look what happens.
I fall down every
Yes.
time.
But we still have faith in you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to leave
I'm
my.
a slow starter.
No, I was gonna tell you my shield, but it melts into me, so it's fine.
I've got one of the halflings is a double agent spy. Brackets or triple agent? Question mark.
Give them the names.
You know that fancy wingsuit thing you've got? Maybe I could borrow that just in case.
I don't think that's a good idea. Plus, you have to attune to it.
Just make sure you only turn into a spider right at the bottom of the cliff. Walk there, and then turn into a spider.
Alright.
Don't walk there as a spider.
Okay.
Only do the climbing as a spider.
Turns inside the yawning portal.
Can't do the doors. Well,
So one of the halflings is a double agent spy or triple agent. Javier and Mookie, I wrote their names. Can he scry on them to check? Do they have magical rings to get into the Cola Towers? Anything else we'd want to know?
what's his favourite one?
Which one's the bad one?
Which
Does he have any way of telling that?
is the spy?
Well, he just scries on and sees one of them's like murdering someone. Probably them. It just implies that we expect information back. We're not just being like, here's an update on your friends.
End it with, this is just a warning to control your shit. Do better. So it's not our problem anymore.
Strangely agreed.
Find a better team.
Is everyone too afraid to take the single red lid or giving others ones?
I don't mind.
I think one as well.
I've eaten
Red one's better.
Right, so you write the letter. Well, you write it. Just tell me what you're going to do while he finishes writing.
I just said Blackstaff needs you to tighten up.
Yes. Well,
Right, so you're going to...
First go to Melnor.
First you go to Melanor. Okay, that's a distance from the Uniportant to Melanor, which is south
Yeah.
east of the city, and then you need to go west all the way towards the mountain. So it's going to take you like
And
half an hour to Melanor
where's
and
your-
another 40 minutes to like
Where's your
the
temple?
mountain.
Oh wait, it could go to your temple, I guess. Is that closer then?
There,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's closer because that's west.
Mountains here.
no, we started to climb.
Oh, yeah.
Where was the climb last time? I thought it was like. Yeah.
No, it was a bit further. It's so the tallest part of the mountain. You see that, yeah, and the straight up is like behind. So, no, the climb to it's like this way. You see that there are like
okay, yeah.
rings there of so you climb from around here up all the way up there.
So I just go to Melnor.
Yeah, that's fine. Here you go.
Okay,
Imagine it's formatted nicely in coherent sentences.
so you're gonna go to Melanor for healing.
And see if I can get some like sweet great restoration.
Yeah, Melanor can do a great restoration.
Was there any combat exhaustion, right?
Was it combat exhaustion?
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh,
You
is it
did a
gone?
short rest.
Oh, okay.
Did
sorry.
you show rest?
I presume we did whilst
Oh
we were
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
speaking.
you show rest. Yeah, it was
Okay,
combat
just
exhaustion.
healing
Yeah,
then,
it's
okay.
gone, it's gone. Yeah, Melanor asks you, so
No, this combat exhaustion from getting down in combat. That's yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
This, yes.
Sorry. Yeah, that's fine.
it was, yeah, that was, yeah. So, yeah, Melanor quickly heals you and kind of like frowns. So you're getting injured more often. Whatever it is you're doing, be careful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you. Did I tell you about the gold?
Does she heal us all?
I felt it on myself.
Hmm?
You with me?
Are we not with you?
We plan to go with you because.
Okay.
Yeah,
we were going to go to that.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yes, I know about. I know that you're working with Winter Garden and Fire and Grey, although they appear to not be around anymore. That was the deal we made.
I
with
literally started right
the
here.
Watchful Order and the Greyhounds.
Very
Just
offensive.
be careful.
Alright, yeah, we'll do. Yeah, there's a lot of bad people around here. I didn't realise
Of course there is.
there's these devil worshippers,
Yeah.
the Castellaners. Yeah, well, taking care of them, making sure they don't harm any more people.
That's good. That's very good work.
But yeah, I'm going to have to go and climb the mountain now, so wish me luck.
Okay, good luck.
As a spy.
Oh, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Be careful with the snow. It might slow you down.
Okay, I'll be careful.
Alright, so you're gonna go all the way to the mountains. Okay, so you're gonna have to roll 4 climbing checks with as a spider with proficiency, and was the essentially not, it's not athletics because the spider doesn't climb based on strength. So
What is
Just-
my wisdom then?
just
maybe?
no, it was the dexterity of the spider.
+3.
Alright, roll +5. Like
Okay.
4 checks +5. It's just to have it to see if you make it there before it runs out. Essentially.
I can extend it as I'm in shape. So I can make it 4 hours and then take. My plan was to take a short rest when I get to the top.
Okay, well, okay, so you roll there. Roll anyway. Yeah.
So 16, 14. That one's be 9 with the +5.
Okay.
And 7. Yeah. So the
Okay, so you're forced to extend it before you get there, you're gonna run out as you find some weird places that have been snowed in and you cannot just push through. But you manage to get all the way up there. And there you see Halloum with some of the attendants. The halflings are not there, of course. And he's in his cave, kind of with the fire and really nice kind of wooden palisade that protects the whole area where he has the garden that is currently not in operation, of course, in the middle of the winter. But as you see, you're like coming up there, turn from. It is snowy now, a bit up there, and you turn from the spider form, and kind of like shake your snow off, and it's like. Sends one of the attendants that comes to you. Well, that's a new one. Come here. Halloum will invite you to tea.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long climb. So.
Yeah. So you sit down. He's kind of like sitting in his little stool, rocking a bit.
I assume this is urgent.
Yeah. Do you mind if we talk in private, if that's okay?
Very well.
They give him the tea, and he offers you a bowl of tea.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
And he grabs another bowl, and the attendants kind of like go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I got my friends to write down the information because I might forget after such a long climb.
Very well. One of the halflings is a spy, double agent or triple agent. Havik and Mookie. They are spies. They've infiltrated Zentrim. Yes.
Yeah, we think that one of them might have been flipped and actually now working for.
As far as I know, one of them might have been discovered, and then to protect her status, might have Seth in turn. I trust these people a lot. And also, between you and me, I can read minds.
Whoa.
So they wouldn't be able to fool me.
Okay. From like far away.
Well, not from far away, but I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
Every now and again, they know they have to come here.
That's good. So, the thing is that we're planning on infiltrating the Colette Towers.
The Colette Towers, you say?
Yeah.
That's where they're posted. Yes, can I scry on them to check? I can, but unfortunately not inside the Colette Towers.
What?
There is that force field prevents scrying there. So, no, I cannot scry inside there. That's why I sent them there in the first place.
Fair enough. That makes sense. What about, do you have, who's your strongest warrior?
Do they have magical rings to get into the Colette Towers? They mentioned something about amulets to get past the force fields, yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I
We
know.
got some of them. So, have you heard about Manchun?
Yes.
Well, he's got some kind of inner portal within the towers that goes to a different dimension. You need a special ring to get inside that.
Yeah, I don't think either of them have that.
Right. I don't suppose you know anything about Sidra Ramar or
Yeah,
Manifest?
Sidra. Nasty piece of work.
You know where she is?
Usually she's inside the tower. That's at least what my agent have told me.
Can you try and scry for her, see if you can find out where she is?
I can attempt. If she's inside the Colette Towers, I won't be able to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We'll get to that. Which one is the traitor? Well, I don't think there is a traitor.
I was covering a lot of bases.
So, which one do you think got discovered?
Do you only magic retailers?
Well, it seems to me that if one of them was discovered, then surely the allegiance of the other one would be questioned because they got there together after a long period of infiltration. So if one was discovered, then the other one was due. So both would be in the same situation.
Well, you seem to think that one of them specifically had been discovered. They told you they were.
Well, no, they haven't told me.
Okay.
When did you learn about this?
This morning.
It must be recent. They only report to me every 10 days.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Can I communicate with you easily? I can cast sending.
Okay, that's good.
Blackstaff
Paper.
needs you to tighten up. Shit's going down. What is this supposed to mean?
Can I read that bit again?
That's exactly what it says.
The Blackstaff needs to tighten up with you.
Needs me to tighten up because
Okay.
shit is going down. I know shit is going down.
That sounds like something that Niall would have said. Basically, he wants to get into a better, shinier badge, so he's always, trying to push other people a bit too much. You can ignore that bit.
Look,
Probably burn that message now, too.
very well.
He puts it in the fire. It disappears. It's consumed very quickly.
He says, look, if it's necessary, I will come down to town myself. I do have agents and influence via the long arm of other people, so I don't have to. I'm too old for that shit that is going down. But if I need to, I will tighten up. Just, do you have a better way of communicating with me?
Well, I can send you like an animal messenger, or we've got these pieces of paper we can fold into aeroplanes to send a message.
I know about those. Yes, send those and I'll reply.
Okay. We didn't know if you could reply, so we just thought I'd better come up.
It's
here.
absolutely fine. Now let me see if I can scry on Sidra.
Alright, thank you.
Concentrates for a moment, grabs another clay bowl, pulls water from like a clay pitcher, and starts like putting his finger on the bowl. The water comes to a rest.
Yeah, must be in the towers. Can't find her.
Alright, maybe we're both in there and could be a lot more. I don't suppose you fancy coming along on an infiltration mission?
Did you hear what I just said about using agents so I don't have to get involved?
But you said if it was necessary you would.
I will determine when it's necessary.
Well, we plan on going into the Collet Towers and taking on Manchun, or a clone of Manchun, and whoever else.
Good luck. If Javi and Mookie are there, I'm sure they will help you.
Oh,
But,
yeah, but you could help as well.
As for taking on Manchun, you need to be... The whole reason I infiltrated is because I want to learn more about what he's really doing there. Same reason why I kept it to myself, that I knew that one of, at least a clone, is running things there, was similar. I don't know if it's time now to blow the lid up on Manchun or not. But I have a history with the Open Lord, and I rather do things my way.
Well,
She's a politician, she will want the evidence, she will want everything else that is required, so the masked laws will countenance her operations.
you know that he's got one of the eyes.
The eyes,
You know about the eyes?
the stone, the eyes of the stone, I have seen this, yes. Well, you want to recover them then?
Well, yeah. So we could do I guess if he's got it and only one, he can't really do much with it, but still, we need to get it to get the money back. There's obviously the cities in riot, I'm sure you want to
I'm
help.
sure that Javi and Mookie will help you out with this endeavor. They
Okay.
are our most trusted agents on the field.
Right, okay. I don't suppose you've got anything.
And I wish you the very best of luck. You're gonna need it.
Any way of me getting down the mountain a bit quicker, have you?
It takes to the edge.
Nope. Well, it's just checking.
Right, well then, I'll just take a bit of a rest for
And for good reason. Coming here has to be a prize. It can't be something that is done easily. I resisted the Blackstaff insistence of drawing one of her circles in my cave for a long time. You found a way to come here quick. I hope that doesn't mean that I'm gonna get a visit from a spider often now. Pilgrimage, the journey, is important. That's why I live here.
So you've got a teleportation circle that goes into
No, I said I resisted her efforts of drawing one.
Right, okay.
Do you still have the mind of a spider? How does that work?
Oh yeah, it takes a bit of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so that you know as well, I don't know if you might have heard this bit of information, but there is apparently, I know about the infiltration, but we've talked about it yet. There might be a spy inside the Blackstaff Tower and all that.
I'm sure there are spies everywhere.
Oh yeah, but apparently someone that's been controlled by the Mind Flare maybe.
Oh yeah, that's horrible business.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so just, you know.
Ah. That's funny. Well, be careful, it doesn't jump to you. Wah!
Yeah, well, no, I'm not afraid of it myself.
No, of course not, because you can turn into spider.
I'm against spiders.
Yeah.
But yeah, right.
So no man flare would want to go into a spider.
No, exactly, so it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, do you want more tea?
Oh yeah, please, but just have a bit of a rest before I
Yeah.
go back down.
Okay, so you're gonna short rest,
Yeah.
having drinking tea. He starts rambling. At one point, you can literally get no useful information from him. He just starts like rambling about like stupid shit and. Okay. In the meantime, what are you guys doing?
I have an idea. When we went to see Captain Zord, he mentioned that the Bragandurth had taken over Yellow Spy Tower, and that was a place where these medallions could be used to get into the Colette Towers for. This morning, obviously, we made somewhat more of an enemy of the Zentrum, and as I said, I think they might try and tighten their borders. Do you think maybe it's worth popping there and letting them know that they might be under siege by the Zentrum coming to reclaim one of their teleportation circles into their hideout? Because if I was the Zentrum, I'd quickly be trying to look at closing all possible entry points, and that's obviously one that's quite outstanding.
Just trying to think what that gains us.
Well, we need to use it at some point anyway, so maybe it's beneficial to make sure that they are compliant with our presence there, as not to be any kind of snag when we're ready to make our...
So that, when they try and take it back, could be a fantastic diversion for us. And perhaps if they are aware that this attack is coming, then they are a greater diversion for us.
Yeah,
So in that sense, yes, it would make
a bit of a honeypot almost. I'm not saying we initiate anything, just...
That's fine with me. I think we need Captain Zord on side. By the way, I think that's the instrument we should be playing.
It's unexpected coming from you. Yeah, I mean, if what he's promised us is what he's promised us, then you know I'm happy to take his offer.
don't recall where Yellow Spy is.
But let's leave a note for Genhorn. Where we're headed.
Yellow Spire, I can tell you in a second.
It's in the castle ward. An old tower in the castle ward.
Yeah, it's an old tower in the castle ward, like southeast of the market. Using one of those blocks.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, we'll drop a note off with Dernan to tell Genhorn, another note for Genhorn, to tell him that we've gone to Yellow Spire.
Okay, so you're going to Yellow Spire. You're gonna leave a note there.
Well, we'll leave a note at the Yawning Portal
Yeah.
to tell Genhorn, who presumably will come back to the Yawning Portal, that we've
Yeah.
gone to the Yellow Spire Tower.
Like 5 hours. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. To Yellow Spire. Okay.
Well, not even. We'll just tell Danon to tell Genhorn.
We'll probably be back before him anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too.
Dylan grabs like a little, kind of like a little like envelope holder, you know, and just put it there and goes over notes and says, okay, well, let's see. I also have this note for you,
For me,
and you recognize like Keth handwriting, and it says there's something I need to do, but Zord asks when you're gonna need the Nimmerite. Leave a note here. I'll come back sometimes this afternoon.
Keth, as vague as possible, has said that he's going to be somewhat occupied, so I guess we can't rely on him, but wants to know when we need the Nimblewright from Zord. I guess as soon as possible, really, if we're planning on going. Says he'll be back this afternoon, so if we say tonight, then
We need to act quickly.
yeah. Right, don't know, have you got a quill or some chalk or something?
Okay. you feel this would be like, okay, this is now a post office, but he's actually used to this. You know, like Dernan, you know, he's one of the most trustworthy and private persons in all of Waterdeep. So if you wanted to use someone as an escrow, essentially, he's the neutral party.
I'll just write ASAP planning strike tonight, and then
Okay.
give him the same card back.
I will.
And how much for a nice glass of 5-grain whiskey?
This time of the day.
No, just let me put a glass in for when he comes back in. Just give him one.
Oh, sure thing. That will be 5 nibs. What are you getting into?
Have one yourself as well.
Oh.
For being such a gracious cleric.
He puts one.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's you drinking this time of the day, it's drinking.
So okay, so you're gonna go to Yellow Spire. Let's take
What are you getting into? We'll ignore him.
yeah. Let's take a quick break here. The 6, and we'll see. So yeah, it's gonna be like 5 hours. Well, 3 more hours. Yeah, until you come back to the Yawning Portal. Whilst you guys go to Yellow Spire and see what's what there.
Did your friend heal you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, he never went there.
No, we were all there.
Oh, you were
Well,
there.
even when you were like, don't even know where your friends are, Jordan was like, I'm right here.
I all the time I understood that he had been there on his own.
That's what I thought originally as well, but apparently it was there in the background, like,
Okay.
healed me, and I was just ignoring it.
Then
Yeah.
they would have healed you. Yes, they would have healed you.
Yeah, you're like, Millicent, oh, good thing, don't see him around anymore. And I was like, I'm literally right here. just carry on talking.
I heard that. I didn't understand.
He's just there in his pilwaffy. Just
Yeah, exactly.
In the
Can't see
daytime.
me.
Oh no, I
Sorry.
broke it!
Can't see me.
Right, cool.